ever since we moved here, I like to come to the park. Stuyvesant Square. Clear my head. Over there is a statue of Peter Stuyvesant, born 1611, very Dutch, very Calvinist, very God is watching. If you think of sex, you die. I teach historical anthropology at the local college. You know, people, cultures, why we act the way we do. Anyway, coming here after class heals me. My class is one of those freshmen, I'm here because I have to be, sort of things. You know what I mean. Me standing in front of 300-400 heads of cattle 3 times a week. I mean, how do you teach that? How do you communicate any real complexity to a group that size? Now, I just water it down. Hiroshima, Vietnam, 3 shots from a window in Dallas. Half of them are asleep. Some come wandering in late. But at least I have Felicia. Nearly 50 years ago, author Harper Lee wrote the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which pointed out the racial injustice in Alabama, where Negro Tom Robinson is unjustly convicted by an all-male, all-white jury. One of my favorite lines is, a jury never looks at a man that it has convicted. And when that jury walked in, no one looked at Tom Robinson. Well, in the following play, The Time Is Now, and 30-year-old college professor Alan Harris is about to embark on his own personal and social journey to see if he has the nerve to look at whom and what he's convicted. White People by J.T. Rogers. So Felicia and I are in my office and we're going over her paper. She's amazing, first of all. The way she can thread together history, connect the past and the present, and make these beautiful connections with such ease. And often, she has absolutely no idea of just how smart she really is. But between us, there are such barriers. I mean, she'll start speaking in this type of code. Words, terms, even whole phrases I can't understand. Like, for example, did you know now that the word sick now means good? Yeah. Like, yo man, that's sick. Well, who decided that? I mean, who sat down one day and said, you know, words such as luminous and exquisite, well, they're falling a little short. Let's go with sick. And then she wears the baggy pants, and her name is hung in gold block letters around her neck. Now, believe me, I'm not an old and ignorant man, and I hate to say this, but when I look across my desk at Felicia, the images that flood through my head are a welfare queen, crack addict, prostitute. What I really feel is fear. And these are my archetypes for this girl. This brilliant black girl. And I'm telling you this because of what happened a few months back. My pregnant wife, Sarah, and I, we were out walking through the park here when they came up from behind and stood in front of us. Right there. 3 black boys. 16, 17, I couldn't tell, but they wore those same baggy pants as Felicia. And one of them had a gold tooth. And they were rocking on the balls of their feet. When one of them turned to me and said, "Hey man, back there, what was that about?" I'm sorry, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey man, don't Don't be dissing me. I know you got my wallet. I don't have your wallet, sir. There must be some kind of a misunderstanding. Maybe somebody else in the... Hey, Matt! I said don't be dissing me. I know you got my wallet right there in that pocket. And the second kid started poking me in the chest, and the third was reaching for Sarah's purse, and she started screaming, and there was punching and laughing like it was a game. And then Sarah was on the ground. And they're kicking her, and she's trying to cover her stomach, but they're kicking her there. Do they not know what they're doing? This is my wife! And then all of a sudden, I remember hearing a voice, or somebody behind me, or somebody in the park, somebody had started yelling, "Stop it! Stop it, you filthy, dirty, black Nick! I want you all dead!" And then they were gone. And I remember getting up and looking around to see whose voice I had heard. And I realized it was mine. I want you all dead. I was fine. A few bruised ribs, nothing big. Sarah, thank God, is out of the hospital now. The baby, well, nothing's for sure. But we know it's a girl. We know that much. But we don't have a name yet. Not till we're certain. Anyway, after taking some time off to be with Sarah, I had my first class. And there were cards, flowers, and then one student even made a cake. I had no idea that they even, well, it meant a great deal. Felicia stayed after, wanted to go at me about my lecture, and every time she spoke, I would look at her and I would see them. Filthy, ignorant, black. And we stood there talking, and she had no clue. And the shame ran straight through me. Later, I caught up with Felicia in the hallway. Felicia, hey, hi, good, thanks. Listen, Felicia, I was wondering if maybe this weekend, if you're not busy or anything, if maybe you'd want to go to lunch with my wife and me. I don't know, walk around, just talk. And Felicia turned to me and said, "Yeah, that'd be sick." "Yeah," I told her. "I think it would be." You know, I've got to tell you, I firmly believe that history illuminates the present. Peter Stuyvesant, you can see it right there on the statue. He lost his leg in battle. It's documented as almost a miracle. Surgery at the time was filled with filth and dirt, and anyone else would have died from infection. But somehow, he survived. And they say he was able to come through his ordeal through faith. Faith in what he knew was right in the world. Faith. Wouldn't that be a beautiful name for a child?